Hi, what's up? My name is Winmi Yamamoto. Folks usually call me Winmi. My involvements with camp has been, I was a camp CYP last year. I was a camp coordinator the year before that. I've also been a camp head and older sibling. Other involvements in the community have been with Halawan, Ally, a little bit of people power, Rainbow Theater, engaging education, and Chinese Student Association's No Access Allowed. So the camp coordinators asked me to answer a few questions for y'all today, so I'm going to do my best to speak from my personal experience. So what does home mean to me? Home to me is a holding space where people will love you unconditionally no matter what. And that means that for them, they would even have to challenge and deconstruct everything they know. So they would love you regardless of how you identify and what you look like, in terms of your gender and sexual identity, in terms if you grew up in the hood or in the suburbs, what type of clothes you wear, how steezy you look. No matter what, people will love you and see you as a genuine human soul. And also, I think in a home, people should love you enough to not only provide warmth and comfort, but to also really challenge you and also allow you to feel uncomfortable, because through uncomfortability is when we grow the most. So how did camp provide a home for me in Santa Cruz? And before I share this bit, I want to address that everyone's experience coming into camp is completely different. So this is just happens to be my own personal experience that I have a chance to share with all of you. So I joined camp my first year of college because I literally only had 2 friends in Santa Cruz that I could be completely vulnerable and tell all aspects of my life with. So when I heard about camp, it was like, awesome, I get this whole pre-packaged family. There you go. Ta-da! And let's just say, to sum up my first year experience with camp, the first time I met my camp family was at camp dinner, and that was the last. So for me, camp actually became more of a home when I started coordinating camp, which was my 3rd and 4th years, and that was also the years when I was more active when I wanted to be more active in the community. And home for me was actually me being able to foster that sense of home within camp, in terms of, planning events and also strategically planning how things were going to go throughout the whole year. And also with the mentors too, because as camp coordinators, we would do a lot of check-ins with the mentors, and so I took hold and ownership of that, and I did the best that I could to genuinely check in with folks and see what kind of support they needed and see how they were doing as genuine human beings. And if you need any personal reference, feel free to ask any camp mentors that I have oversaw who are still at your school now. So how has camp made an impression in my Santa Cruz experience? For me, it's taught me the power of how even just one person can really make a difference in someone else's life, and therefore making a difference as a collective community. I think that the program is always growing and changing and striving for the better. And with that said, I think that people easily feel pain from camp, because people join camp for many different reasons. But if you think about it, technically, this mentorship program is telling you that through connecting with people, having a family, having mentors, is supposed to actually retain and keep you in school. And so people feel a lot of pain from that when you come in and you're not feeling loved at all. So you're like, you don't feel that type of mentorship that you expected, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And so with that said, I have seen many brilliant mentors and mentees really be there for each other and change people's lives. And with that said, in my own personal experience with my camp families, and I know that we were never perfect. We weren't one of the stronger families who kicked it all the time. But so instead, me and my co-camp head, it was like, okay, we're not seeing them as a collective family. So okay, well let's at least do individual check-ins. So every time I had an individual check-in, I would be so fully present and genuinely asking, like, not only how is school, but how is every aspect of your life, and how do you feel within that space? Where do you want to grow with where you're at right now? And it was funny because I would think sometimes when I was a mentor, I would wonder if I was a good mentor or not, because I didn't, based on how people were presenting themselves, I was like, maybe they weren't, I guess for me, didn't really come off receptive to liking me, maybe, or like wanting me as their, or like feeling like they wanted me as their mentor. But the funniest thing is that every time a camp family of mine ended or I graduated, people came pouring their hearts out to me, just saying how much that one check-in meant to them. And it's crazy because I only check in with people sometimes not even as much as I wanted to, but that just for me to genuinely ask how their soul is doing meant a lot, which is beautiful. It's a great thing, but it makes me sad because it makes me think how much love there isn't going on for people that I'm thinking of in my head right now. That for me just to check in with them in school meant so much, or anything else. So advice for all of you there. I would say to really take ownership of what this program can do for you. So you're in this family and you are paired with random people. So really challenge yourself, and what impact can you have on these people's lives? And trust me when I tell you, it is not just the mentor's job to be hitting all of you up. It's the family's job collectively to be in support of each other. And trust me when I tell you, it's only what you make of it. You have to take ownership of it. And another piece with that is I would also challenge folks to really challenge yourself and question how you show up in your personal family life outside of Santa Cruz, and how does that relate and connect to how you show up in your camp family. And with that, a particular memory comes to mind of a camp family that I oversaw. And this camp family was particularly very strong. They kicked it all the time. Everyone was hitting each other up. And what was interesting is that I knew some members of this family on a personal level, and I knew that what was going on at home, that type of love definitely was not there. And it was funny because it's very different to how the love that they were experiencing in their camp family. And to me, it was very beautiful for them to be able to find and also showcase the love that they deserve into that camp family. And I've also seen people who completely run away from the camp families and have that be reflective of how they were in their home personal life. And I know that we all come from very different families of what that looks like for us. So I really challenge all of you that this camp family that you have, you can really be revolutionary leaders of how you want to show love, regardless of how painful your history is. So with that, as a closing statement, I want to say that with life, sometimes shit is hella crazy. So what in the hell else are you going to do? But you can either love each other or hate each other. So it's your pick. So with that said, I love you all. Hit me up whenever. Camp Alumni Support for Life, alright? Okay, I'll see you later. Have fun.